What's up, everybody? You know what it is. It is the official Married at First Sight after show. We're covering a 2-hour premiere. Everybody's gotten hitched, and it looks like some people are down to get in the boom boom room. Let's go. Let's get it.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Yo, we need some likes, Jonathan. What's up? What's up? Where's our likes at? Yay! Got to do the heart. Got to do the heart. I need to like do the challenge. I was looking at all the challenges
They were like
today.
going with it.
I looked at like 10 of
Sierra
them.
and Russell?
Oh yeah, it was really cute.
Sis, drop the prayer. Drop the prayer. We need to know the exact word for word.
Verbatim what you said to get him.
Please, girl, write a book. Okay, thank you.
That was really dope.
The prayer that he said to get her. We always assume that women praying for men.
For sure, and he might have been him because he was the dude. Like, I'm waiting. Like, you know what I'm saying?
She definitely sent a prayer up there. She came from a pretty bad relationship.
She did. Maybe it was two prayers combined.
Yeah.
Boom. Forces combined.
You know what? Drop the prayer for the men, Russell. Drop the prayer for the women.
Boom. There it is. Mm-hmm. Y'all know what it is. It's the Married at First Sight after show, official after show. We are here. We're super excited. We got to cover 2 hours, so we're going to get on to it. I'm super excited about this panel. We have a brand new panel this season. Right next to me is the amazing, the incomparable Felicia.
Michelle, holla at me. What's up? Hey.
What up? I love how she's just like, and my last name is Michelle. Yeah. And of course, on the other side, I got Thelma with us.
Yes. Hey. Hello, everybody. I'm so happy to be here. I'm Thelma and Bazeway Daniel.
Yeah. Hey. And of course, rounding out our panel, our amazing panel of lovely, beautiful women is Shannon.
What's up, everybody? I'm Shannon O'Connor. So stoked to be here today. Yeah. Talking about all the love.
Talking about it. All right, so we have a new season, 2-hour premiere we got blessed with, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So we got through it. Now, they did a little bit different. And I feel like in previous seasons, they always are tweaking little things, doing little things differently here and there. On this particular season, we didn't really see any of the pre-work. We didn't see anybody auditioning or anything like that. They jumped right into the couples, them telling they were getting married. We saw them getting married. And we even saw them going to the little suite afterwards. So we got a lot in this 2 hours.
Yes.
What are you guys feeling so far about this season?
It's a lot. It's a lot. I like that they didn't do that casting thing this season, because it's like, I don't need to see people who aren't actually going to be on it. I didn't know who the couples are, what they're about, and just getting right to it. And I genuinely like all of them individually and the pairings too. So I'm really excited.
Yeah.
No, I think you're absolutely right. Every season, something's changing a little bit. We started off with 4 experts, and then now we have 3 experts, and then we keep trimming the fat when it comes to the show. And I think it's gotten way better in terms of production, in terms of editing. So I'm just excited overall. But the couples, oh my God, they're all so dreamy. They seem to hit it off immediately. So it's always a perfect thing when you have instant chemistry, because that's the one thing that the experts just cannot calculate for.
Right.
Absolutely.
Well, does it seem a little too perfect? Like, everybody's attracted to each other and everybody is feeling it. And I'm like, okay, when is
the other shit
gonna hit the fan? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But I'm loving the boys. I feel like I have crushes on all of them. Like, they're all just so great, and just the things that they say to these women. I'm like, okay, they seem like they have genuine intentions. And so
refreshing to see a man want to be in a committed relationship.
Yeah,
so often a
for
narrative that it's only women who I desperately want a man. I need a man. Right. Like, no, they're like, I need a woman. I need a wife.
Now, do you think that it's part of it is because of location? Because we are in the South. We're in Dallas, Texas this season. Do you think that has any play on it?
And the men wanting to be in relationships.
I'm just saying, like, the Southern gentleman type stigma, me being like maybe more down to earth, maybe wanting a committed relationship, as opposed to in some of the other cities that we've been in.
It's a Southern way of life to be married,
Correct.
to be unmarried. Yeah,
Correct.
Very traditional. I think that plays a part in it. I think we'll also see a part of that played out in their marriages as well.
Sure.
Or their what they expect in their roles.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We also see that, and we talked about this in our pre-show, that we see a little bit older as far as couples, especially with our first couple that we're going to talk about, Amber and Dave. They're 36 and 37 respectively. That's the oldest couple that I've seen so far.
On that show ever.
Exactly. Yeah. And we were saying that it could go either way. It could be a situation where they're both set in their ways, as where it's kind of hard for them to kind of mesh together because they have lived a little bit longer, or they're really ready to be in a relationship relationship, so they kind of fall into it.
Yeah.
Got you.
What you've seen so far with them two, what we've seen so far, how do you think it's going to play out?
I think they're gonna hit it off at first, and that's what we've seen. Their chemistry, like they blown out of the park. Like
Yes.
they're digging it, they're feeling it. But in the preview for the next week, it kind of showed it's almost like passive aggressiveness that it's looking like they're gonna encounter with each other. So I don't know, but I don't know, not older, but 36, 37.
Sure.
You think
Established.
they would? Yeah, there you go. That's a good way to say it. You think they'd kind of have more open communication in that sense? So. I don't know. I'm kind of sensing a communication problem.
Okay.
But from what I can see,
foreshadowing.
in the future. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. So, like we said, we have Amber and Dave. We also have Danielle and Bobby. What do you guys think about Danielle and Bobby?
Oh, I love them.
Yes?
I love Danielle and Bobby.
They're like the minis. I'm gonna call them the minis.
The minis, is that their
They are
nickname?
like small, like fun size.
Minnie and Mickey Mouse. They're just small and little hands.
Cute little smiles and blue eyes and just they're adorable.
No, I think he's a gentleman, and I think it's really interesting that everyone has chemistry. But again, these are strangers, and I think a lot of times when it's a little too hot in the beginning, it fizzles out. We've seen that happen a lot of times.
Sure.
So I'm just curious to see what really goes on between them, but I'm so excited, and I love that they have supportive families. So I think that's the key element to truly making a marriage work in this capacity.
Right.
It's in this situation, like Lord
Yeah, in
Jesus.
this,
absolutely.
in this capacity for sure.
Absolutely. And we do see, speaking of supportive families, Danielle's mother initially was not on
Right.
board. She kind of was a little skeptical, which is, I mean, I can understand. You know, when
Absolutely.
if my child, I don't have any children, but if I had a child and they were like, hey, Dad, so I'm going to be marrying somebody I've never met before. It's going to be a stranger. So it's going to happen in 2 weeks.
And
See
it's
you at the
on
wedding.
television.
Yeah, and it's on TV.
And they're gonna be recording us doing
Right,
the entire
like
process.
the entire process. That's a lot of undertaking.
Yeah.
So I can see how she was hesitant, but it seemed like as we saw at the wedding, she was there. She seemed very supportive, and it was all good.
Yeah, I'm glad her mom definitely came around because she didn't come to the fitting for her wedding dress. But I'm glad she came around. But I also think it depends on your culture because arranged marriages, they're not really. I'm Nigerian. They're not really out of context or so different, and it's in different cultures. But like we've kind of discussed, I think Americans are a bit interested and curious about this idea because it's just not a part of American culture. So I'm really excited to see all these shows that kind of around arranged marriages. But Married at First Sight seems to be the more successful show.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in season 7.
We're in season 7, but you also have couples from the show that are still together
from the
who have-
beginning.
from the beginning, married, happy with kids. So I think that they're doing really well.
Yeah.
They
Really,
have a
really
little
well,
bit more like in arranged marriages, it's your family maybe picking, maybe there's a matchmaker, I don't know. But here it's like there's experts. Like I like that there's like a spiritual person, there's like a psychological person. Like there's multiple steps and levels of your personality and your essence that they tried to capture for people.
Absolutely.
And I like that. If you noticed, one of the couples, I'm not gonna. Me and Tristan, we'll talk about it in a second. But they said we know that they'll really like each other physically, and so let me know they took into account what people's likes were down to very small things. Because didn't what's Bobby Minnie's Bobby says that he loves blue eyes and he loved her blue eyes. So I just like the small details. You know that they're really paying attention and trying to actually match somebody for the sake of them being together and not just for the show.
Yeah, no, that's a really great point. And it's really interesting when they don't work out because it's a situation where one has to reflect on themselves. If I'm giving everything that I want, then what's wrong? What am I doing wrong? Or maybe I'm not really ready for what I say I'm ready for.
Yeah.
Word.
Well, back, sorry.
Go ahead. No.
So back to Bobby and Danielle and their similarities, their love for dogs. Are you kidding me?
The vows?
Yeah.
She mentioned her dog. And then his
Guys.
family mentioned his dog.
That was hilarious.
Then I knew.
In the,
knew.
like, get to know you, yeah.
I was like, these experts, they know what they're doing because that was just too good to be true.
Yeah.
And I
It was
feel
so
like
adorable.
that they, as this show progresses and continues on the season, I feel like they get better at their job too. Because I think there's a lot of trial and error when you're doing something like this, when you're whittling, they literally get thousands of applications.
Yeah.
I mean, the experts aren't necessarily going through all of those. I'm sure they have a production team. But when it gets down to the nitty gritty and actually pushing these people together and who's going to be good matches, there's no guarantee in any of this process, right? They do everything in their power, to make it as best as what they can. If I can have a towel from any of the engineers, just like it would be cool. So
No pressure.
no pressure. But no, I mean, I think that they get better. And so I think that this is also an indication of them getting better at what they're doing and what they're finding.
Yeah.
So we see, speaking of me and Tristan, what do you guys feel about them? I feel like they're gonna be, yeah. Well, we saw, obviously, you know, if you watch the show, which you need to,
Yes.
we see that obviously there's always going to be trials and tribulations in any of these, right? It's never going to be perfect. You got two strangers coming together, living
Any
together.
relationship.
Exactly.
Any relationship.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So, but with them, obviously, she had some issues right out the gate. You know, she told her family they were not happy. They were not feeling it at all. She, you know, her parents was just like, I don't really like this. All the way leading up, even in the wedding ceremony, there was still like the dad had the talk with him. It was like
Sis was going off.
sis
for
was
no
going
reason.
off like
Sis was being
multiple times.
protective.
Yeah.
Sis was being extra.
She was being a bit extra.
extra.
She was,
A
yeah.
little much.
She
You
was a
don't,
little
you
bit over
don't
the
talk
line.
to another adult like that and
Right.
demand it. Like respect it. I always thought respect is something that you earn
Right.
and that you can give to people. But once you break it, it's like you're not really respecting him. Talking to him like he's like 6'5". Why are you talking to him like he is a child?
Like he's Bobby.
yeah.
Like he's not Bobby.
Or like you're
Yeah.
7 foot. Like
Yeah.
girl,
Yeah.
relax. Or it's
No,
not
I
wrong
get
to
that.
ask the questions. It's the manner in which you're
It's
asking.
definitely her
Definitely.
tone. It's definitely her tone.
And it's not the right occasion.
Yeah.
It's not the right
No.
setting for it.
Sure.
At the
But
wedding.
I mean, you definitely have to understand that a lot of these families are, you know, they're just as shocked as
Of course.
everyone else. And marriage is such a sacred thing. And when you see your child going through this process, you can want to be supportive, but still be as scared as possible. So I think it's really interesting to kind of give them, I think we have to give them a little bit of slack with the families. You just kind of give them a little bit of slack and see how they progress. If they continue that at the family
sure.
brunch, then that's a problem.
Yeah.
But
Right.
that initial, I'll just let that one slide.
See, it's like back to what you were saying before. I think with me and Tristan, they have a complexity to their situation because, yes, they're the only couple that we see on the show that are very religious, circa Nate and Sheila.
Yes.
We know Jesus can't fix it all, but I hope it works in this situation. And on top of them being very spiritually in line, it's the culture.
Yeah.
She's
Exactly.
she's from a Caribbean background. Like that's not what? What do you
Yeah.
mean you're doing that? Like
Yeah.
you're gonna go on a television show? Like you're gonna have our family out here? Like it's a lot more to it culturally. So you have that aspect and the religion part.
Yeah.
It's like it's so much pressure on her. I don't
No,
like the way
I
she
agree.
acted, but I understand where she's coming from.
Right.
No,
I
and
see
I
that.
agree. And I feel like everyone's a little taken aback when she didn't kiss him at the altar. And I understand that, but it's still, everyone moves differently. And I honestly appreciate the people who kind of take a little bit more of their time because you just never know. Chemistry is great. That's perfect.
Yeah.
But you should really try and get to know that person so you can build a great foundation.
But she signed up for the show.
I have a
Married before she's
have a
kissing the
quote.
guy, so I feel like
Go
I
ahead.
don't kiss people I don't know. But you marry them. But you'll marry him. but
There
you-
it is.
It was
exactly.
more like I think the way
I think
she
she was
did
trying
it
to be
was
respectful of her dad, too.
it was a rejection. Like for example, come here, Lean. So we come in like this. She could just gave him a kiss on the cheek, or she could
Right.
have told him and whispered
Yeah.
in his ear, "I'm not ready for that.
Yeah.
Right.
Can we wait?"
Well,
Instead of
Tristan-
being like,
She curbed him.
Yeah, she did.
She curbed him
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah.
just like the
And, and shout out to him for being like, oh, okay, you know,
gentleman.
he was,
great.
and I feel like he's good for her.
Definitely.
Like
Yeah.
I feel like one thing with her and her, you know, inhibitions with this process, and there's always one every season. There's one that kind of pushes against
has
it.
to be one.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I get it. There has to be one, and I feel like he's the one that's like, okay, cool. You know, he's like, let's do it. And then when they were at the reception, he was like dancing with her and like making it jokey because she was, you know, uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You know, and he could tell she was uncomfortable. He could tell her family was a little, you know, uncomfortable.
Right.
So he was trying to make do of the situation, and I appreciate it because that takes a lot because you're already in a situation that's uncomfortable. So then you
for yourself,
add,
and you're
exactly.
trying to comfort other
But
people.
yeah, but the truth
Yeah.
is, what I honestly picked up from her also is that she was a little insecure.
Yes.
He is like, and I think that's what it was too. She probably didn't really know what she was getting, but she got this guy. She probably thinks like, whoa, he's gorgeous, he's tall, he's everything that I've ever wanted. And she's a little insecure. She even said that. Like,
She did.
I don't even
She's
think that he would go
intimidated.
for a guy
Yeah.
like me if he saw me.
At
So
the
I
bar,
think that
yeah.
she's really, that's what I kind of read. I think she was just a little uncomfortable. She just didn't want to move too fast, but she's very much all in. And I think what I loved about that was that he said to the cameras, like, if I saw her at the bar, I'd walk right up to her.
Right.
So it's really great to see this kind of like, we're like flying on the walls, we see everything.
When I think a lot of the couples are having those insecurities, even when the women were shopping for their dresses, it's like, is he going to think I look good in this? Like, is he going to make all these judgments of me just by the dress that I pick? You know, so, and that's hard when you're marrying this person, you're having these insecurities about your physical appearance, when it's like, you know, when it's going to be so much deeper than that, but that's
but that's
still,
the only thing you have to go off of. That's the only thing that they have to go off of, is just seeing you for the first time, not hearing your voice or anything. So you
like
want to look good.
Yeah,
it's like the ultimate first date,
right?
Oh my
It's like, I gotta look so good.
You need the dress, okay? You need everything.
You need the dress, the hair, the
Exactly.
nails.
Who was it? It was I think it was Dave who was like, yeah, you know, she's gonna see me for the first time. And he was like, I'm gonna wear this and I'm gonna look like this.
Tristan, that's his
Yeah.
Tristan
Oh, was that
personality.
Tristan?
Yeah, you know his
Okay.
personality larger than life.
Yeah.
His velvet tie.
Right,
He's
exactly.
like, this is what you want to wear, and I was thinking,
Oh no, but it
has
was
no velvet tie.
Dave was the one he was saying before he goes on a date. That's what it is.
oh yeah, he
Before
lays
he
his
goes on
stuff
a date,
out like an
I was
old
like, that's an old man.
man.
Yeah, like I got my sweater and I got my slacks,
suspenders and my
and I'm
handkerchief.
ready to go.
Laid out on the bed.
Let's just talk about the fact that
Yeah.
Dave and Amber go to the same gym.
Yeah.
What's that about?
That's
So I think that's
crazy.
really interesting that you guys had the opportunity. In her bio, she literally said, I think I've exhausted all my dating options in town. So when I saw that happen with her talking about the gym and he doesn't want him to find out about who she's dated,
Right.
I was like, wow, you guys could have met randomly. But
Could have.
Yeah.
Could have. But that also speaks to they're like, you know, they want to be in shape. So that speaks to, you know, also
Their
them supporting-
compatibility.
Exactly. Thank you. But I do think it's interesting and I'm pretty sure that is going to come up later about this guy that she dated that she's scared.
The Dallas douchebag.
Exactly.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Because it's going to come up. Because when they start doing those
Oh, Lord.
exercises, when they start asking the other questions, you know,
Oh,
yeah.
true.
Exactly.
Exercises.
Exactly. Speaking of, we got Felicia that's going to read some things to us that we got to do.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so hey, what's up, AfterBuzzers? Here at our network, we work so hard to you guys. Let's start this again because I have gum in my mouth. Sorry, that's bad. Hey, AfterBuzzers!
Hey.
Our network produces act shows for nearly all of your favorite TV shows, from drama to reality TV to sci-fi and more. There is no network that works harder for television fans, but we do need your help. So we're asking that you please subscribe to one or more or all of our YouTube channels. By subscribing to our YouTube channels, what it does is suggest content that is tailor-made just for you to help us continue at AfterBuzz to grow. And if you're worried about past notifications, please do not be worried. They are optional. So what you need to do now is hit that subscribe button right now for this channel, and check out all of our other AfterBuzz channels as well. Let us know what you did so in the comment section below, and we'll be sure to shout you out on air. As always, thank you guys seriously for being the best fans and allowing us to keep being the ESPN of TV talk.
Boom.
Hey.
Boom, like
There it
that.
is.
Thank you. Subscribe
Just like that.
now.
Make sure you subscribe because that's how you find out
Don't
where
miss
we're going to
out.
do. We're going to have special things jumping off the season, special guests. That's
It's
what we're
gonna
looking
be
for.
lit.
So
Don't
you want to
miss
know what's going on at all times when it's going down. Speaking of special segments, I'm going to shoot it on over to Miss Thelma because we're going to be doing something every
excited.
single week. And she's going to be heading this up. So she's going to talk about her special segment.
Break it
All
down,
right, guys,
Thelma.
I'm really excited to talk to you guys about this. If you are a Married at First Sight OG like myself, you remember when Dr. Logan did the fishbowl exercises. We're going to be doing something like that here, but it's called the Jar of Hearts, and it's pretty much just a Married at First Sight trivia game. So I'm going to shake it up. I'm going to ask you guys a question, and we're going to go from there.
Oh my God.
All right. Oh, this is a good one. What % of Married at First Sight couples make it to the 6-month mark? Dun, dun, dun.
Percentage.
You can just guess. Go ahead and guess.
I'm gonna say. Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm gonna say 30%.
Okay. Okay.
I was going to say like 10.
Okay.
I'm going to go a little higher. I'm going to go up to like
Oh, wait. The 6-month mark or make it all the way?
the
6-month mark.
6-month mark.
Okay. 25.
Okay, really? This is not the
price is right.
No, this is
No, I'm gonna say like 2/3. So I'm gonna say like 66%.
You know, you're actually you're a little bit off. It's 50% actually because
Okay.
prior to this season, we've had 6 seasons of Married at First Sight, 3 couples. So we have 18 couples totally, and 9 of them have actually made it to the 6-month mark.
Oh, really?
So 50% of them have made it to the 6-month mark, but we'll see how that stat changes with the season 7.
Interesting.
Heck yeah.
Okay.
That's a
Okay.
fun stat.
That is a stat.
I love that.
Yeah.
Jar of
Do we get
hearts.
another question?
Sure, let's do another one.
One more.
Okay.
One more.
And you did
Alright.
such a beautiful job. Can we
I
just look
know.
at this beautiful job?
Yeah.
that's on
Crafty
there?
That's really
DIY.
Oh, this is a really great one. Why do you think the couples are more integrated in the newer seasons? Because you know, in the first season, they didn't actually meet till season 5. Season 5 was the first time that you had Nate and Felicia, Anthony and Amber, and Danielle. They all met, and that
Right.
was the first time that it happened. And season 6 was the second time, and now we're in season 7. Why do you think the experts decided to integrate the couples?
I think just the sense of camaraderie, like, hey, oh my gosh, you know what I'm going through, because no one knows what I'm going through. So I think it's just nice to get your thoughts out and have someone actually relate. So I think that's
Sure, it's
a
a
big
small
part of
club.
it.
It's
Yeah.
a small club,
Way
and
small.
they're the only people who can actually really understand you.
Exactly.
And maybe even be able to vocalize things that you don't even know how to vocalize about how you're feeling too.
yeah.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. I think when you're in that situation, you think it's just you two because that's who's in it, right? And you have surrounding families that you're trying to get them on board. You're trying to get yourself on board, really.
Yeah.
Especially if it's not going the best, right? That's when you really start questioning the process. Like, dude, what am I doing in this situation? So I think by integrating the other couples that are doing this and allowing them to be able to talk amongst themselves, and they've even said it themselves, like, oh, I'm so glad I can talk to somebody who can relate to
Yes.
exactly what I'm not
Absolutely.
by
Yes.
myself. I think even when they met in this season, when they met at the ring, I think one of the women was like, "Oh, I'm glad I'm not crazy." Like, you guys are not crazy.
sure.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. Like
Yeah.
she was just thinking, I'm a bunch of crazy people.
Yeah.
No, they're normal people that are doing the same
So
thing
it
I'm
can
doing.
help to the
Exactly.
success of them staying in their relationship.
I
Right.
agree completely, because the first few seasons they all went on different honeymoons, and then as the seasons went on, you see that they start to go to similar places. Because I think it's really important to have people who are going through this unique experience with you, and then
Yes.
you realize that you might have similar problems, or you're better off than certain people, so you appreciate that relationship. Like when Anthony and Ashley found out
Oh,
that
yeah.
Danielle
Yes.
and they hadn't had sex yet. Everybody was like, "Whoa!" So I think it's really interesting. Yeah, that's good.
That was Danielle and Cody.
So
that was
Danielle-
hilarious.
yeah,
And
Danielle
they
and
didn't
Cody
have
did-
sex the whole
but they
6
made it
months.
Okay, so some of the 6-month couples,
nuts.
Danielle and Cody, they made it to 6 months. We also have Nate and Sheila, they made it to 6 months. We also have, Sonia.
Yes.
Sonia and Nick, they made it to 6 months. We
Lillian
have
and Tom from season 4.
Yes, we do have Lillian and Tom, who got married. They got divorced after 14 months. I was so sad. I thought they were
What was
really
the
gonna
They
go.
seemed
Tom is just such a free spirit. I want to live, I
an
don't want to be
RV.
Yeah,
tied,
that is
like
true.
tied down to
Yeah.
anything. I never thought that was going to really last too long.
Right.
And then we have Courtney and Jason. They were just so amazing. We have Doug and
I love
Jamie.
Courtney
So
and
we have a
Jason.
lot
They're
of
my
great
favorite.
couples that
Right.
made it past. Yeah, they,
Yeah.
And Doug and Jamie, y'all know that y'all didn't think Doug and Jamie was gonna make it.
Oh,
I said,
no.
no, it's not gonna
No,
work.
because she was
No.
Oh,
she was
right.
not into it.
She was not
Speaking
into it at
of
all.
not being into it, do y'all think that that Amber was into Dave's this Amber? Sorry, I spit in my own drink. That's so gross. Amber and this Dave are like so. I gotta keep it thorough.
Hey, yeah.
Amber and Dave are like actually like, or when Amber met Dave, that she really was attracted to him because she was kind of like, I wouldn't really go like that's my guy.
Right.
But like you were saying, she's older, so maybe she's like, looks aren't everything.
Right. I don't think maybe she was like, I want to jump your bones right here and now. But I think she was like,
I like that pose you did.
Sorry. I'm gonna. Yeah.
Right.
But I think she thought he was a good looking guy.
He was
you
good
know?
enough.
Yeah, exactly. He'll do.
He'll do.
I guess he'll do.
They're consummating the marriage on the
Right.
first
Yeah,
night.
He
So
took
we'll
her
see.
dress off, which I thought was really
Intimate.
yes, very
It was.
intimate, and in a way that it kind of is like someone seeing you naked, like is very vulnerable.
That's true.
Well, she took the dress off. I mean, she still had the bra and panties, I'm sure.
Maybe she had as
You
much
don't know.
tequila as she
Yeah.
did on her bachelorette.
I don't know. You have a lot of couples who hit it off on the first night. Do you guys remember Vaughn and Monet?
Yes,
Okay,
and
so you
yeah,
have a lot of couples who
that-
hit it up in the first night, and then it's problematic.
they hit it
Right.
off. They
Yeah.
thought they was Jay-Z and Beyonce. They thought they were the new Black Love. I was
And
like,
then you have couples that don't have sex at all, like
Yeah.
Hefe and Shawnice,
Yeah.
and now they're married with kids. What's
Right.
going on?
I know. So I it's interesting looking at this particular season to see, because last season, if I'm not mistaken, there was only one couple that consummated on the first night. right? So this particular season, it appears, I mean, we got to wait until the next episode, but it looks like 2 of the couples of the 3 are like down for the cause. I feel like
DTF.
Bobby and Danielle, like she has the strip, like she's ready. Like what did she say? A tunnel?
Oh wait, the light tunnel. Oh, because she got waxed after she got
spray
tan, so it's lighter
What?
in the area.
You know the
that
lighter
part.
down.
Yeah. So she said it was like, she said something like a Target or something like that. She said maybe you'll like that or something. Anyway, I thought that was funny. I thought that was funny. But she was, it kept coming up that she's like, yo, so how do you feel? And she's just like, yeah, so if it happens.
Like, we're married and
Right.
that's what other
Exactly.
people do. I just think it's too much too
soon.
soon.
It's too soon. It's too soon.
And it's too public.
Honestly, day 2 of the honeymoon, maybe. Day 3, okay. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, day 1 is just.
I need you to.
I can't
I need
speak
you
for
to poop
everyone,
first.
but
I
I'm
need
just.
to if I speak
It's not even that. It's not.
I need
I don't
this
even
thing
think
to
it's
happen.
but I don't know if it's just the little things, because you have Mia talking about, oh, he might have this and this. Come on, girl,
How you
stop
gonna say
it.
he got Hep
Like
C?
that's,
Like,
that's not even the cause.
First off, he's
The
like
reason.
27. How's he have Hep C?
Right. He
like-
might have leprosy. Like, what are you talking about?
This man is an
1800s?
athlete.
Like, yeah.
He's an athlete. He works out. Like, he looks like he takes care of himself. He owns a business for tutoring children. Like,
And I'm sure that
Right.
they vet all of the people that end up on the show.
so when you're on
Definitely.
funny casting on different shows, that's telling you guys about being in a casting process of another show, they do test you. So like when you go to get all that stuff done,
Sure.
I have blood work, they take your urine, they do
Yeah.
all that stuff, like to make sure that you're healthy
Of
overall.
course.
They do mental things, so like
Yeah.
he's healthy, I'm sure.
Yeah.
No, I would definitely imagine. My question, though, and you kind of answered it, but I didn't really hear Shannon's
Yeah,
perspective.
what's
but
up? Sorry.
if you were in this situation, right?
Okay.
And you married somebody at first sight, you were going through the same situation, you're feeling the person, right? You're feeling them, you're attracted to them, you're attracted to them physically. Would you ever consider consummating the marriage on the first night? You were married.
That's hard. So I'm personally waiting till marriage. Just putting that out there.
Oh,
Hey,
We're just
So that's hard
exclusive, exclusive right here.
But so that's hard to say because technically I would be married, you know. So, but I don't think I would be emotionally there yet. Like
You
I
wouldn't.
no, because even if there's a physical connection,
Sure.
cool. Let's do other things. But the actual deed, I don't think I could do the first night.
Huh.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
I'd have to wait till I can trust them and that I actually love them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even though you're married.
Even though I'm technically married, but yeah,
Okay.
because it's a different circumstance.
Women are
Sure.
more
Just met.
linear. I think women are linear, right? So it's like here, and then it's here for
Yeah,
women.
for sure.
So it's like physical, yeah, but you need to have all three in a marriage. So if you get me going there, that's cool. But I need like here, I
Yeah,
need like
exactly.
all of that needs to be in alignment
100%.
prior, and it starts
Yes.
here, and then you work your way down, not down and work your way up. It doesn't work like that.
Advice.
That's not how gravity
Advice.
works.
Well, with guys.
Oh, men, you hear that out there?
With
Yeah,
guys.
Tell us how.
I think it starts in their stomach with food.
All I'm saying is, I don't know. I think you guys know my answer, and you're not alone. Shannon.
Don't
I'm
hang
definitely
with
there
it.
with you.
Hey,
It's just even in real life, I just feel like I really just now kind of mastered the art of kind of being present and trying to be there and just kind of allowing things to happen organically. And I think that sometimes we think too much about things, so that natural aspect is there, but that idea of wanting things and think, oh, we're married, that doesn't mean anything. I don't know you. So let's get that connection. If we really want this thing to last, if you're really in it for the long haul, you kind of want to chill it out a little
Your
bit.
mindset has to be like someone who is
Yeah.
ready to marry a stranger. And that's since that's not your mindset, you won't understand it from their point of view. Like if they're ready to marry a stranger, they're ready for all, or they believe they're ready for all of what entails in marriage and
Sure.
includes that. So
Yeah.
when they consummate their marriages, I'm not surprised.
No, yeah, but then
I'm
you
just
have
surprised
like,
the openness to talk about it on the openness to talk about it.
Yeah.
And the intimacy, like they're in your bed, like there. Like,
Yeah.
Right.
And then you were saying before that there's a continuity of them going to the similar places and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I would want to know, were they in here too? Were they in this bed too? Was I the first? Who got married first? What date did you get married?
I don't
When did
think
you get
they're.
married?
The rooms did look different. The
They
rooms looked
did.
different. The places were definitely the same.
Yeah.
Yes, the venue was
But the,
like,
yeah, the
beautiful
venue was the
venue.
same. And
and
it
the
makes
weddings
sense.
have gotten
Yeah.
way better over time. But I
Oh,
will
yeah.
say that I kind of
For sure.
disagree with that notion that men are ready to jump in, because even if we see what last season Heffy and Shawnee's, he was telling us, listen, I want to take my time because
I was just gonna mention that.
For me to really like somebody, if I really want something to work, if we go with the physical, it'll fizzle out. In her mind, she's thinking, he doesn't like me. He's not attracted to me. But that wasn't the case, sis. He just wanted to take his time with you.
Yeah.
So that was the truth. So I think that's just the idea. If you really want this thing to last long, you got to get to know the person.
And I think most people, I mean, I'll say most people, because we've seen on the show, like, it seems like some people are ready. It does seem like most of the time, with the exception of Jeffy and Sonny, because I thought that was very different, that it was the woman that was more aggressive, and he was the one that was like, oh, pump your brakes. But it has been, like, the men have been seemingly, like, if it happens, not to say that they're, like, you know, pushing the boundaries, but if it was to happen, I'd be down. Whereas the woman was like, no, I don't know. And most likely, I would say to your case about the whole linear thing that you were talking about.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
this-
You're like,
He just blessed himself like 3 times.
sir, don't try.
Yes.
He's
I
trying,
mean,
he's trying to downplay us
No,
right
I was
now.
not. I was not.
That was a great one.
Yeah.
No, I was not. I'm trying to get it. You all are, I mean, I'm out, first of all, I'm outnumbered.
No,
It's
So,
true. It's true.
I'm
It's
trying,
true.
right. I want to get the full perspective.
Okay,
I
what's
can
up?
only go by on the men's side.
Yes, let's hear
And
it.
for instance, if I was in that situation, I would definitely want to wait. And that's just me personally, only because I feel like if you did, it would spoil it. Even though you're married, even though legally, if you're, you know, a Christian, it's fine because you're married and you believe in waiting until marriage. So, but I think because you're not there all the way to get your strangers, it wouldn't be in the same. Even though you're technically married, it still wouldn't have the emotional connection.
Exactly.
And I feel like you have to build that over time.
And it doesn't have to be a week. You know what I'm saying?
No,
you
I'm
see
not
Anthony
exactly.
and Courtney, Anthony and Ashley, excuse me, or you know, a few days in, 3 days in at the honeymoon, whatever.
Right.
I'm not putting a timeline, you know. And
Sure.
I think that people have had sex on the first night, and it's all good. That's fine. But I'm just saying, from what I've seen in terms of statistics, and there's like monitoring the show and seeing who
Sure.
lasts and who doesn't.
Sure.
A lot of people who have that instant jump in, they fizzle out.
And then I think it's also customary to in the real world when you're dating someone.
Right.
If you end up smashing on the first night, I mean, let's just keep it real.
Let's keep it real.
More than likely, if I'm a guy and I get it the first night, then I'm gonna be like, okay, cool. I'm not
call
the only
close.
one.
You want the
Okay,
chase?
let's
Is that what you're
I'm-
saying?
What's that?
You want the chase? Is that what you're saying?
What I'm saying is, I'm in it for a relationship. So
okay.
if I smash the first night, then I'm like, okay, I'm not that special. That's happened
see.
with other people. So
Okay.
I would want to wait. If somebody that's going to make me
That's how you
wait.
think? No, I'm saying like you're saying it's not that special in terms of because you're able to.
No, I'm saying that I'm not that special. Like if I smash on the first night and we have a one night stand.
Yeah.
My thing is like, okay, who is that? Who else has done that with? Because
Well,
I'm
then
not.
if you
to-
smashed her, you got smashed too. So that's a
Yeah,
double standard.
like,
So
that's what I'm saying.
If you smashed somebody else, they smashed you back. You can't only one way smash.
Takes two to
but
smash.
I don't know. Maybe
Takes
you can't
two
one
to
way
smash.
Takes two to smash.
So, like,
and so the
yeah.
same.
So she's thinking the same thing.
Yes,
Is that,
and y'all are equals. When you lay down with somebody, you are their equal. Period.
Right, I'm not negating that. I'm
So
just
why can't it have been that y'all are both special to each other and it was some
Or you had an instant connection, or it was love
There
at
was
first sight.
fireworks.
Like,
Okay, well then that goes back to what we're saying on the
this-
show.
But it's a different context because you are married and you're trying to build this lifelong commitment with them. So I think that, to your point, if you're meeting in real life and you're going to have that opportunity to develop that relationship, that's different. Meeting on the first night, being strangers, already having the commitment there. You're not going anywhere. That's the essence of the show.
Sure.
Is that since you have this commitment, you have to work all your conflicts out to resolve.
there's
That's
a
what we see.
security.
So it's a security to it already. Why rock with that? That's my idea.
and also it's a good excuse no one to call you a hoe because you're married.
Yeah,
So you
exactly.
kinda
No, that's true too. I was trying to give it a relationship, and
Yeah.
it's the same thing, like you said.
Sorry, double standards really kill me.
Right.
Yeah, I
And
agree
I'm-
completely.
And I'm not saying it's double standard
Liam
because
is like, what did I sign
like-
up for with
like-
3 girls and me? Oh
No, and I agree with you. I'm saying it goes both ways.
For sure.
Yeah,
I'm just saying
definitely
on
does.
my perspective,
Right.
as the guy, I can only go by on my perspective.
course.
If and let me put it in this context, if she's willing to say I'm down to smash on the first night, then what I'm saying is, okay, then I don't know if that's somebody that I would want to enter into a relationship with.
because she's not taking you seriously.
Because she's not taking me exactly
taking herself seriously, taking the
Exactly.
situation
If she
seriously.
was to say like,
Intentions.
yeah, I need to wait on this, or I'm waiting till marriage.
Right.
You know, then I'm like, okay, that's somebody that I could see myself being in a relationship with.
Okay.
Because then I know that they're in it for the long haul.
Interesting.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, that
You
does
guys,
make
I-
sense.
I feel
no,
like-
it does.
I feel like
no,
there's
100%.
some eyes
It
on
makes
me.
sense.
I'm not even gonna look at him anymore because when I realized it, like from my angle, I only see him, but from his angle, he sees all three of us staring at his face like,
We're
what are
just
you gonna
learning.
say?
We're learning from you.
Yes.
So it's us
We're-
processing
yes.
it.
Yes.
We're not
We're-
judging
we're
you or
taking
hating on
it.
you.
No.
We're just learning from you.
We're learning from
yes.
each other?
Yes,
Okay.
exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
It's a
sure.
learning experience.
There are a lot of interesting statistics actually surrounding. We talked about this a little bit on the pre-show. You know, according to Dr. Pepper, 52% of newlyweds actually do not consummate their marriage. They don't have sex on the first night.
Really?
And this is not to say that they haven't been already having sex.
Sure.
So I think like there's some times when it's not that
I'm sorry. Do you mean the wedding night?
the wedding night.
Oh,
They don't
okay.
have sex on the wedding night, and that's a lot of times a test of the fact that they've been having sex throughout their relationship. So it's not that big of a night. It's not that big of a deal. And I think that now that we're discussing having sex on the first night, it's really interesting to know that 52% of Americans, literally in
Like,
2017, didn't.
Because like
No.
75% of them were probably
They
drunk
were
as
drunk-
hell at
that's
their
what they
wedding.
did. They were like having a
And
good time.
they were tired or tired.
They were like, we'll smash later this afternoon.
Like
it's normal now.
we can smash
you
for
know what I
life.
mean?
We're together forever. Like I don't need.
So it's
True.
like,
Hold it right
People-
there. I'm gonna
Right.
sweet.
I don't know, we would just put so much emphasis on.
On the physical.
Yeah.
Well, and I think going back to this is a marriage show. This is not a dating show, right? At the end of the day, this is for the long haul. So because your mindset should be that I'm married to this person. So I'm thinking longevity. I'm not thinking 6 months. I'm not thinking 2 hours. I'm thinking that if I'm married to this person, it's for life. Because if I'm married to somebody, that's what I'm thinking.
life. Wife
automatically.
for life, yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
I'm thinking
For
this is
life.
for life. So how I move and how I
I'm
dictate.
single though.
Throwing that out there.
Married to Jesus thinks.
Hallelujah. No, but I'm thinking the same. I'm thinking that every action that I make. So, like, if I was on this show, I'll give you an example. If I was on this show, my whole motive would be like, what is the longevity? How is this going to work
Exactly.
Yes.
for the long haul? I'm going to make sure I listen to what she's saying and make sure we move accordingly and make sure that communication is open because I want it to work. Now, if this person isn't for me and I understand that and you know how the show works, you can get divorced in 6 months, then so be it. Like, I don't want to prolong something that's not going to work.
Right.
But when I get married for real, that's all I'm thinking is that I've decided and by God, I feel like he sent her to me and this is what I'm about to do and it's about to be forever.
Well, then do the daggone thing.
Yeah,
Aw.
right.
You know, but there's
Yeah.
nobody around right now. God said, wait. God is like, hold on, brother.
If you
out here looking for
If
Drop it.
Liam seems like you're Mr. Right,
He needs a date. He needs a
if
date.
Liam seems like you're Mr. Right, put it in the comment section below.
You know what I mean?
Live chat,
He
live
does
chat.
have the
Luke
nice
is on it.
poetry jam. You know what I mean? 1, 2, 1, 2. Nice
Oh,
mic.
gosh. What have I done?
Don't worry, we'll hook him up.
Yeah,
we got you.
You know,
Yeah,
I'm going to get it off me. We're going to go into news and gossip. Let's do that. So, yeah.
AfterBuzz TV News.
So Shannon
Yes.
is going to be orchestrating that every week. So go ahead, Shannon, what you got?
Yeah, so since this is the premiere, you know, the first week, I just wanted to give you guys, Thelma kind of filled us in on a little bit of background because we're kind of seeing these couples and we're like, okay, they're going to make it, they're going to make it. And so I have some news for you. There are people that made it and are people that didn't. So Jamie and Doug, season 1, they had baby Henley. They've been married. So happy. And then they have their little show, Married at First Sight +1, or they had the show. So that was super sweet. And then Courtney and Jason, also season 1. And so they hit it off instantly, but they've also had their struggles. And they've had their bumpy roads, but they fought for it and they've made it work. And so now they're doing well. But then Lillian and Tom, season 4. I thought we were going to make it. Like, they were amazing, so great. They had such a strong connection. But then they got divorced in June of 2017. But they're still friends.
They're really
2018.
good friends.
Yeah, they're really good
He
friends
came
on
to
Twitter. They
her-
like retweet each other.
He
and they're
came
just
to her
buddies.
niece's party,
Yeah.
birthday
Oh, yeah,
party.
yeah.
It was so
I saw
cute.
that,
It
yeah.
was so cute that they still have that friendship.
Exactly. So,
Yeah.
so who knows what's gonna happen? Who knows what's gonna happen this season? You know, we may think, hey, they hit it off instantly, so it's gonna work. But
Yeah.
down the road, it may not. So,
Yeah, and about Jamie and Doug, you know, they also lost their first child.
yeah.
Yeah, so
Right.
that was
Oh,
really
really?
sad. So it was really great
Right.
to see that they had another child,
Right.
and I'm so happy
Yeah.
for them. It's been like I've learned so much. I love this show because I learned so much from the show, and I just learned so much from their relationship, and I love the way how patient he was.
Yeah.
And it was Cody could have taken notes, anyways, but you know what I mean. There was just so much that we learned from their relationship and her background, how much she fought to get out of poverty.
Definitely.
So I'm so glad to see them happy and together. And she's
Yeah.
hosting the spin-off show.
Right.
Yes.
The
I know.
Last Chance, Married at
Yep.
First Sight, Second Chance. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
so
pretty
it's pretty
good.
cool.
Word.
Exciting.
So let's just segue into predictions. Let's just do that.
All right.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
So these are going to be really early predictions, but I want to focus the predictions on who you think of what we've seen so far, right? We got 2 hours of this show so far. So we got to see a lot of content. We got to see, and it was all focused on the couples, which was dope. So do you have any predictions of who is going to stay together and who is going to get a divorce?
I think Danielle and Bobby are going to stay together.
They're going to stay together?
Them and their dogs and their happy little family. I believe in them. I think they're going to be good.
Okay.
You know, I'm going to go with me and Tristan. They're both 29 years old, and I think they're both in a place where they can handle this. He's a very fun guy. She's a very fun girl, and they have faith in the middle of their union, and I think that they're going to go all the way. I also really believe in Danielle and Bobby. I have questions about Amber and Dave, though.
Okay.
I believe in Amber and Dave
Really?
because as you said before, like they're like older. I feel like they're not. This might be the last shot for them. Do you know what I mean? Like this might be it. It might be the last.
Don't say that.
It might be the last shot for them. I can only say my opinion, Liam. I'm sorry. It's an opinion-based show.
It's true.
I think that they're not going to make it.
Asking you.
I honestly don't think any of them are going to make it, to be honest. I don't have any faith. But I had to pick somebody. Sorry, I shouldn't have said anything. I should have been quiet.
Everybody's doomed. That's what's going on.
At least the most likely to me to make it is Amber
But
and
it
Dave.
is also the most dramatic season ever.
Right.
Okay,
That's
so
true.
let's see what's to
But
come.
with Tristan and Mia, it looks like
I
the
think
drama is
there, and and it's the kind of drama that they're not creating amongst each other. It's the kind of drama that's presented to them, so they have to face it as a unit, which is why I think that they're going to be stronger.
He kept
based
saying
on
she
what we
lied.
kind of. Really?
Yeah,
What
he
did
kept
you say
saying
about
she lied.
customs? What?
Yeah.
he was like when he was talking.
I mean,
to
yeah,
the
but when she said he kicked her out of the room.
Well, it started off her being detained at the airport
at customs.
and then he's saying he doesn't know where his wife is, and then we see it
Later.
just goes to something else, and we
Right.
see she's lied to me, and he's saying he
I don't know
basically
if I
kicked
can
me
trust
out.
her.
I don't like that, kicking nobody out. You don't kick your woman out nowhere. It's not
Yeah. Okay, well, you know what? I'm a post-production girl. I've been, I do a little bit of video editing, so I know they played
editing,
around with our hearts and
yeah.
with our
Yeah.
emotions.
Always.
They're really like setting us up for something. So I'm gonna be skeptical about if he really kicked her out. I really hope he didn't. Tristan, please don't do me wrong.
Or
Tristan,
maybe
I'm
she was
really-
being dramatic. We'll see. I'm excited.
Who knows?
Well, I mean, just historically, I mean, if we go back to who were we just talking about that were very stout in religion, 2 seasons ago.
Sheila and Nate.
Sheila.
That
Yes.
was
That was
Jesus.
intense.
Jesus
were-
couldn't fix that.
Yo, they were
But the thing about them, they fell in love. Wow.
well, sorry.
They said they did.
I'm just throwing away the season. Everybody.
First he threw his phone, then it was his computer, like his laptop.
I have hope.
I have
almost
hope.
done.
Okay, I'm the pillar of hope here. Okay, I think some people are gonna make it.
I will say this. I will say this. If I have to pick a couple, I will have to pick of the 3 so far, Danielle and Bobby. I feel like that they have
The minis.
I mean, just because of their similar backgrounds, their similar take on the whole dog thing.
Yeah, who wants to let a damn dog here in their house?
Yeah, exactly. Because I think that's hard. Because in previous seasons, we've seen people that are dog lovers, and then someone who's not, and then
a
that
thing.
clashes.
Yeah.
That clashes. They're like, oh, I'm not a pet person. Da 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 da.
Sonia and Nick.
And some people, exactly. Case
yeah.
in point.
Oh, yeah,
Some
Cody-
people
Cody and,
are
Mother
very
and her
much
dogs.
into their dog.
But he liked her dogs. Those dogs needed a
dogs are
man.
bad,
They
and
needed a
he's
man
stressed-
around, and
stressed.
he put his foot down.
Where?
It's with the dogs, with Danielle
With
and
the
Cody.
dogs.
With Danielle and Cody.
With the
She
dogs.
thought
With the
that-
dogs.
She thought her dogs were too rowdy, and he
Right.
actually was like, "I love dogs. It's
Right.
amazing. I can
Yeah.
take
Oh,
care
that's
of it."
true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Go
His
ahead,
face
Lim. I'm
looks like he
listening to you.
loved
I'm
them.
with
No, it's so
you.
cool.
I'm
No,
with
no,
you.
y'all just
I'm
keep
with
talking over
you.
me. It's cool. I'm trying to get my opinion, and I'm the
we're
little
with you.
guy
Go
here.
ahead.
It's cool. No, it's all good. No, we got to wrap the show. No, I was just saying, Danielle and Bobby. I think that they have the best, so far from what we've seen. As it progresses, who knows? But I think so far what we've seen with the families involved, I'm looking at all of that.
Yeah.
They have the best shot, in my opinion.
All right.
So I'm definitely
agree.
hopeful. But I want
Yes,
everybody
me
to
too.
make it. Because,
Yes.
I'm a hopeless romantic. That's why I'm on the
Yes,
show.
right.
The only
We
guy on the
love
show.
love.
I'm a thug, okay? That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to keep saying every episode. I'm a thug.
It was
I got
beautiful.
tattoos.
Cried at the wedding.
I'm
Beautiful.
exactly.
They were sweet.
Yes, so that is our show, ladies and gentlemen. We want to thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, everyone that was on live chat. Sorry we could not get to you. We were having some technical difficulties up here. But we want to thank you. Make sure that when you get this on there, like, subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to iTunes. And we want you to comment. We want you to comment if you have ideas for us to show. Anything, you want to add to the special segment that Thelma is doing, that would be dope. If there's any past season guests that you would like us to have on the show, we would love to get your input. Let us know what you think. I've been your host, Len Gonzalez. You can find me everywhere at The Poet Sing, all day, every day, The Poet Sing. And check out my website, stayonthemic.com. Where you at?
What's up? You can find me on Instagram at It's Felicia Michelle, and on Mondays at 7 o'clock doing Houses of Potomac here on AfterBuzz, and at 8 o'clock doing Shades of Blue, and tomorrow at 7 o'clock doing Grown Up Hip Hop.
Yes.
Boom.
Ooh, working.
Yes.
And I'm Thelma Bazaway Daniel. I'm so blessed to have been here with you today. You can catch me on Instagram at Thelmy and also on Twitter.
Yeah. You can find me on Instagram at Shanikin_Skywalker.
Oh, it's cute.
Funny, right? It's funny, right?
Oh, gosh, that's corny. Anyway, we'll see you next week.
You love it.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Keven Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.